To be honest, bro, you do not bulk and then you cut. Like you see normal people do on the internet nowadays. Even if you want to bulk up and build muscle, because I won't lie to you, I've heard of this, but when I was starting my journey, bro, I did not do this at all. I did not go on a massive bulk and then cut it to get my physique. What I actually did instead was bulking, but let me tell you one thing. It was in the 2 to 4 caloric surplus range. Now you might be confused, what do you mean 2 to 4? Isn't that way too little? Because usually when people tell you to bulk, when they tell you to bulk so you can cut, because you're gonna gain some fat and you have to like get rid of that fat. Yeah, when you bulk in the 2 to 4 surplus range, the fat gain is so minimal that you're not even going to gain as much fat because you're not, first of all, eating that many calories above your maintenance. So what's gonna happen, just listen, is your testosterone levels, like your little hormone levels, are going to stay optimal as possible, even more optimal than normal maintenance, because you're not going to be gaining as much fat, right? Because when you go on a normal bulk, even if it's like a lean bulk, and you allow your body fat percentage to go up by a bit, you do end up gaining a bit of fat, which does kind of mess up with your hormone levels temporarily while you are bulking. Like your testosterone, because your estrogen is gonna go up a bit because you're gaining a bit more fat since you're eating a lot, which I know you're going to cut later. But that's just havoc, right? When you're on the 2 to 4 surplus range, yes, it's a very little surplus. So the gains, the rate at which you're going to be gaining mass, will be way slower than a traditional bulk. But you are not going to have to go through this phase of becoming a bit fat, feeling a bit like, your test is going down, and then you're going to have to like go on a cut where you don't really feel like doing it, but you're going to have to force yourself to basically starve just so you can get a leaner physique. With the 2 to 4 surplus range, or even if you are skinny, but you are lean, because I know that's where I started. I know that's probably where you are starting. You are skinny, you don't have as much muscle, and you also don't have a lot of fat at all, because maybe you even play sports, right? If you just bulk up in this range, I'll tell you exactly how. The extra calories go to the energy that actually allows you to build muscle and recover. And it actually helps you to basically build the muscle if you are just eating the right macros. Because your testosterone, like I said, will stay as optimal as possible, because you're basically not going to be having any sort of detrimental fat gains. Literally, your body fat percentage is barely ever gonna change, but it will look like your gains are way slower than if you bulk. Because when you bulk, yeah, you do build a lot of muscle under the fat. You do build a lot of muscle. But when you're on this thing, it's like you are building the muscle, almost the same amount of muscle as normal bulking in the same time frame, but with just without the fat. So yes, you are sacrificing like maybe 5% muscle gain. Like you're not going to gain as much muscle as quickly as a bulk in the same amount of time. It's gonna take you slightly longer just to get the same amount of actual muscle as a bulk, but you're not going to have to cut to see that muscle. Your body will literally just start getting bigger in terms of muscle, not fat. So you're never gonna need to cut. Never. You just keep training and eating in this way. Well, that's what I've managed to do. And I won't lie to you, my physique has been better than ever. My athleticism has been way better. Because this type of method is very doable. Especially for young men, like young teenagers, guys like us, who still live with our parents. And we kind of have to manage with what we've got. This is actually very doable. 2 to 4% caloric surplus, which means eating 2 to 4% more calories above your maintenance level. Wait up. Well, how do you do it? It's simple. You basically eat the usual meals you eat throughout your day. The clean food, the complex carbs, the meat, the protein, everything. You get in as much proteins, carbs possible. Ideally, your priority goes to your carbs, then your protein, and then your fat. In terms of like your macros, like that's the order, like priority. Then, at the end of the day, when you've had all your meals where you only ate until you were full, you never try to force any more food down your throat like you're actually bulking. What you do at the end of the day, to keep it simple, it's what I do. Just trust me, this helps you easily get into the 2 to 4% surplus range because that's a very low range to begin with. But trust me, bro, it helps you to make gains over time. It's not like you don't gain muscle at all. Especially if that surplus of calories is mainly coming from proteins and fats. Because remember, if your testosterone levels are gonna be optimal, indirectly you can build more muscle because testosterone helps you to build muscle, doesn't it? Higher testosterone, more muscle growth. You see, at the end of the day, after your last meal, have an extra handful of any type of food. Like after you're full. Like for example, let's say you finish your dinner, you are full. You can have an extra piece of meat or a handful of nuts. You just have like another spoon or two of rice or whatever. That's clean. Just have a little bit more food than when you are full, like a tiny portion. Like even a handful of nuts. Just a few more calories above maintenance every day. And you will be bulking in this range. Even if you're skinny, it's gonna take time. Don't get me wrong. You'll have to be patient with your journey. But it will basically be the same thing. You're going on a bulk, then a cut. And the thing with going on a bulk and then a cut is that it's flipping stressful, bro. It's stressful. With this method, you do not go through the stress. And you basically make the same gains in the same time without the worry. You're welcome. This works. I've done it. I do it.